Can you hear me? You are speaking, but I can't hear you. Uh, okay, so welcome at Sham Salar 245. Okay, he's gone.
I think.
Okay, so is it training cats and dogs, or it's just uh, a light shower?
No, sir. It's raining cats and dogs here in Islamabad.
Okay, so here it was actually a light shower, and now there are no more clouds. I don't know why.
Whenever there is any rain or cats and dogs either, but if the rain starts, it will take 5.
Jump into our article for today, which I selected. It's about education. So share my screen and then.
Yes.
Okay, so the title of this article is "Why Bother About Education?" It's written by Faisal Bari. He's one of my favorite writers. He writes very well, and he teaches at LUMS, your
Yes, sir.
favorite
And
university
especially
as well.
economics.
Yes, teaching
Yes, sir.
economics.
And yes, sir.
Yes, Ashfaq, you were saying something.
Sir, pardon, I couldn't hear you, sir.
Yes, you were saying something about Faisal Bari. You know him? Have you read about him?
Uh, Not so much, sir, but after this article, it was written that he is an economics professor at LUMS, so I was excited.
Have you read the article?
Yes, sir, I have gone through it.
Okay, you have gone through it. Okay, so we'll be doing an activity uh, where you will write down your points using my whiteboard.
Yes.
Do you know how to use a whiteboard?
Okay. Yes, sir, I have used it earlier, especially with you, I think, and we'll do it now, inshallah, sir. I think I am the only one, sir. Where are the rest of the students, sir?
I don't know.
I'm puzzled.
Yes, actually, I was
Oh,
expecting them, but it's just you. It's okay. We'll continue with what we are
okay, sir.
doing. So, Ashfaq, you can
Yes,
use
sir.
the text option above, the T option,
Okay.
and you can type your points. Uh, I mean, the crux of this whole article. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, Ashfaq, I'll make you host. Probably.
Sir, I have shared some points. as I went through this article and I came through those points, and one point is from my side, point number four, and point number five as well. Though it was mentioned, I think at somewhere. So if I have the permission to elaborate some points as well, if you elaborate.
Yes, please, the floor is all yours.
Yes, sir. At the start of this article, as he mentions that we have all the reforms, we have tried them as well, but we have no fruits. Why does it happen? Because of uh, some other education, or we give our some GDP to education, so it will be all related to the infrastructure, or giving pencils, or giving something. It is the very basic thing. We have to provide them as well. If we don't have pencils, we can't even write our ideas on a blank sheet of paper. But only the infrastructure can't do something for us, as we are concerned with the quality education. So only infrastructure, or focusing on factors, then the quality education will not lead us to a great nation with a great education level. So third point is politicians are not ruling, as it is mentioned in the at the last of this article, that the politicians or the principals, they are not uh, they are not real, or they don't want the voters to be educated, because they in our fourth point I have mentioned that the education level of our politicians is an open book for us. So they don't have education himself, neither they want us to be educated in a good or a well mannered way. And the last point, the people of Pakistan are economically so weak to think about education, especially for the quality ones. As whenever you think about your bread, you can't even think about a book, or you can't even imagine or dream about a book. And so this is the case. I have got something from that the article. I'm sorry, sir, I can't hear you, sir.
Okay, I was on mute. Okay, so if, point number two is very important, that
Yes,
only
now.
focus on infrastructure or something else is focused than the quality
Yes,
education. So in the article,
yes.
which people focus more on this infrastructure things?
Sir, the bureaucrats.
Exactly. And
And as we have the principals, the politicians, they don't want us, they don't want the agents to focus on the quality education. So is the case with them. They do the same thing as principals tell about.
bureaucrats and politicians, there is an economics term that is related to a principle. Could you please elaborate it?
Sir, I couldn't get that point as well, sir, because I went through it, but I haven't read about something like that as well, sir. Principal agent in economics. I'm sorry, sir.
Principal
I
agent.
wish I could elaborate it.
Now, this is a reading skill. Now,
Yes.
probably I am not an economics student, but still I have to dive deep into it using the clues. What's the text going
Okay, sir.
before and after this phrase? What is he saying something about a principal? Who is a principal? You can also relate it to a school or college principal. What does he do?
Yes. Sir, the principal agent, the agent do the same thing as is told by the principal. And here, politicians are principals and the bureaucrats are agents. So the politicians don't want agents to work in the field of quality education. So, am I going right, sir? I
Probably. Do
think
you think that uh, politicians control the bureaucrats or the bureaucrats control the politicians?
that is the dilemma, sir. It is a very hard question. Uh, sir.
Okay, we can say it that it's a hard nut to crack.
Okay, sir.
Something that is difficult to digest. It could also be a sort of confusion or when you cannot digest reality. So the reality is very different here. This person has written this article based on Pakistani education system. So probably
Yes, sir.
the main force here is the bureaucracy, what you call the
Yes, sir.
establishment or whatever name you'd like to give it. So they make the policies and then these politicians are the puppets. Do you agree?
Yes. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I agree.
So who is the principal here with a stick? Just like Najibullah
Uh,
Saab would have a stick ready for you guys. So who is that principal here?
Sir, as now I think you have cracked the nut by telling me the bureaucrats or the establishment are the principals and the politicians are the puppets. So now we can get this term vice versa as well. Getting politicians into or giving politicians the term agent and the bureaucrats the term principal. Can we
Okay,
do it,
very
sir?
good. Yes, right. Now you have hit the nail on the head. I'll be using some idioms.
Yes, sir. I'll note it down, sir.
Hit the nail on the head means you are 100% correct. Britishers say hit the nail on the head, but Americans, uh,
Yes.
this is UK, whereas another version is hit the nail. That's the US version, but they mean the same thing.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I have got it.
Okay, let's quickly skim it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Ashfaq, in the introduction, he is discussing Constitution Article 25A. We will not go into it. Uh, what this Constitution is about and what is 18th Amendment because this will become technical. But the question is that Constitution says that education is the right of every citizen, but we see otherwise. Yeah, he is making a point here that most school-going children in Pakistan are getting a poor quality education. This point needs to be
Yes.
elaborated that we have poor quality of education uh, in schools, except private schools and some of the
Okay.
elite public schools. What do you say? What's your take here?
I agree with the writers here because in our government sector schools, I have seen, I am the witness as well, sir. They even the teacher is very irresponsible, and he has nothing to do with the students and their education, especially the quality education. He only comes, uh, gets a cup of tea, enjoying the company in the staff room, and here we go. He is leaving for his home.
What do you think about this point that I've highlighted? Politicians respond to electoral pressures. Electoral comes from the word election. So,
Election.
what is it saying here?
Sir, I would now mention the quote of Nelson Mandela. He said that politicians think about the next elections while a leader thinks about the next generation.
Very good. This is actually
So,
the crux of this whole paragraph. Yes.
okay, yes,
So, politicians take the credits.
yes, sir.
What sort of credits they take? What is the
I'll
writer talking about?
I'll give you an example, sir. In our village, a politician constructed a school, a middle school, a primary school for the students of for our people of village, and my own brothers sisters are studying in that school as well. Now, whenever someone sees the building, oh, flam politician, and that politician has made that school. Now in that school, the teacher is absent from a month. 2 teachers are there, both are not coming. I was going to case a file on them, but my father he scolded me and said that you should do your own business and stay away from this. So I and he said that, say, but don't be over smart here.